And BJP's fresh attack against RJD over the Waqf statements. Spokesperson Pradeep Bhandari has put out a social media post, and I'm quoting him now. He says this is Jungle Raj meeting desperation. Pradeep Bhandari says Tejaswi knows he is losing Bihar. His blatant appeasement is now out in the open. Tejaswi's attempt is to snatch the rights of the poor, EBC, Dalits, SCs and STs. Bihar will reject Jungle Raj 2.0. Union Minister Kiran Rijiju says Congress and RJD cannot escape. Give an answer. Do you recognize the Indian Parliament? Do you respect this decision of the Supreme Court? Do you respect Indian democracy? Unquote. Pallavi Ghosh with me on the broadcast still. Pallavi, it was very clear that this kind of a comment would attract a sharp attack from the Bharatiya Janata Party, but looks like RJD is trying to appease the Muslim vote bank, the MY vote bank yet again.
Well, RJD has made this comment very deliberately because Tejaswi Yadav also did say it later on. So the fact is that it's a well thought out, well orchestrated kind of a strategy. See, in more than 20% of the vote bank over here, and one which matters is that of the Muslims. That pie has been divided between the JDU, the Congress, the RJD, and the last time round, Owaisi factor was very much there. This time round, the RJD strategy is very simple. One, to tell the minority vote bank that, look, JDU cannot be your go-to destination because they were a part of the NDA when this bill was put to vote and decided along with the government. So they don't feel strongly as far as the Muslims are concerned. I think at this point of time, the RJD also knows that there can be other players who may be fringe players according to some. But you know, the PK, the Prashant Kishore factor, Owaisi factor, they don't want the Muslim votes to go anywhere. They want to consolidate it. And according to RJD, the way it can be consolidated is to make these kind of comments and also to project the RJD and at most the Congress and the overall Mahagathbandhan as the champion in protection of the minority rights.
Is it also a way, Pallavi, for the RJD to assure that even though they have not named a Muslim deputy chief minister, their interests are there in the minds of the leadership?
Well, that was one question which has been raked up by Chirag Paswan, as we saw a post that they put out. That why did they not put up a Muslim deputy CM?
Right.
Another rebuttal came to that from Tejaswi Yadav and from the RJD, saying that at a later point of time, if we form the government, we'll have deputy CMs apart from Mukesh Saini.
Okay.
So yes, there is that game which is going to be played between the two sides.
Okay, Pallavi, do hold on. Pradeep Bhandari, in fact, is here with me on the broadcast. Pradeep, we were just discussing this entire sudden, messaging that Tejaswi Yadav-led RJD has started on Waqf. It looks like their way of assuring the Muslim community that even though we have not named a deputy chief minister who's from the Muslim community, RJD stands for that vote bank. Your thoughts?
Well, this is pure appeasement politics. Everybody knows that it is a law which is passed by the parliament and no state government has any locus standi in it. But look at what the RJD is trying to do. The RJD is trying to tell the EBC, SC and the poor Dalits of Bihar that if the RJD comes to power, then it will back a land mafia and attempt to snatch the land of the poor of the Bihar. The poor of Bihar are seeing through this. This is exactly what Jungle Raj 1.0 was, where Lalu Prasad Yadav backed criminals in order to snatch and take away the land of the youth of Bihar. Now the RJD and the Tejaswi Yadav is exactly doing this for vote bank politics. The people of Bihar are seeing through this and they will give a befitting reply to the RJD in the upcoming polling dates.
But I saw this template being used by Mamata Banerjee also. A lot of opposition ruled states have said they're not going to implement a central law. Same, being used by RJD as well. Do you think in the Supreme Court they could mount a challenge to the interim ruling that has come?
Well, people of this country are wise enough to know that what the opposition is doing is nothing but a hogwash. This is why if you see that their attempt to do vote bank politics was defeated in Haryana, was defeated in Maharashtra, was defeated in Delhi. And this new modus operandi to do vote bank politics in Bihar will fall flat. But look at the evil intention of the RJD. What Jungle Raj 1.0 was exactly about giving and backing mafias which used to take the land of the poor of Bihar. Now they are attempting to back a land mafia as Waqf in order to snatch the land of the poor, knowing that they cannot do so even if they come to power.
But you're absolutely right that it's a central law passed by the parliament. The Supreme Court has refused to give any stay on that. But yet when Tejaswi Yadav says we will not implement it, Pradeep, in terms of how a central law is implemented, centre does depend on state government officials, be it the collector or lower level officials, to implement a law. So realistically speaking, how much does the state government really have a say as far as implementation is concerned?
Well, even if any state government is duty bound by the Indian Constitution to implement a law passed by the Parliament, otherwise it violates the Constitution of India. So the RJD also very well knows it. But what this tells you is that the RJD does not care about the Constitution of India. RJD does not care about Babasaheb Bhimrao Ambedkar, and the RJD does not care anything about the Dalits. But also this tells you that the RJD is on a back foot in Bihar. It knows that even its vote bank is not supporting it. Even its vote bank has seen through how the RJD only uses it for vote bank politics but does not do anything for their socio-economic upliftment. This is why the RJD is attempting to give this false promise which is not realizable on the ground. I believe that the poor of Bihar, in particular the EBCs, are seeing through this that Tejasvi Yadav wants to get Jungle Raj 2.0 by promising all of this, which is not implementable, and the poor and the women of Bihar will give a befitting reply to it.
Right. Pradeep Bhandari, thank you so much. Bharatiya Janata Party mounting a sharp attack against the RJD and the Mahagathbandhan after this soundbite from Tejasvi Yadav, where he said that Waqf bill will not be implemented, the Waqf law will not be implemented in Bihar. Listen in.
कोई बिल ये लोग लाते हो, आप लोगों से हम कहना चाहते हैं, वक्फ कानून का जो इन लोगों ने बनाया है, हमारी सरकार बनेगी तो उस बिल को हम लोग कूड़ेदान में फेंकने का काम करेंगे।
इस बिल को हम लोग कूड़ेदान में फेंक देना चाहते हैं, is what Tejasvi Yadav says. He says अगर हमारी सरकार बनेगी, which means if he's voted to power, the Waqf law will not be implemented. What the BJP is criticizing him for is this is a law that has been passed by the Indian Parliament, and even the Supreme Court of India has not given a stay on the implementation of the act. Then how can the state government refuse to implement it? Your thoughts on that? Share with us on our social media handles.